Hello everyone. Today I'm in Daytona Beach, Florida, the birthplace of NASCAR. And we'll be visiting the final resting place of some of NASCAR's most legendary figures. I'm going to begin my visit with a stop at Hillside Cemetery in Ormond Beach. Hillside is a rather small cemetery located in a residential neighborhood between the Halifax River and the Atlantic Ocean. It is the final resting place of two Civil War veterans and many of the area's most prominent citizens, including William Henry Getty France, the founder of NASCAR. If you turn left just inside the cemetery's entrance arch, walk along the first row of markers, you will soon come to the grave of William H.G. Big Bill France. In 1948, just a few miles down the road, Big Bill, as he was known, met with several interested parties at the Streamline Hotel in Daytona Beach to discuss forming an organized racing circuit. That meeting gave birth to the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing, which is today known as NASCAR. From that meeting in 1948, NASCAR grew to become the most popular form of motorsports in the world. During its heyday in the 1980s and 90s, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series raced before sold-out crowds of more than 100,000 people at such places as Daytona, Talladega, and Charlotte. But when the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company was legislated out of the sport in the early 2000s, NASCAR's popularity began to decline and is today just a shadow of what it once was. Big Bill France served as NASCAR's president and CEO from its inception until his death in 1992. During his career, he presided over the unprecedented growth of NASCAR and founded the International Motorsports Hall of Fame in 1990 and was one of its first inductees. He was also the first person to be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2010. Big Bill France died on June 7, 1992, and is resting here next to his wife Ann. Bill France Sr. was 82 years old. My next stop is at the Daytona Memorial Gardens, which is actually two old cemeteries, Bellevue and Cedar Hills, that have been combined under one management company. The two cemeteries are separated by Bellevue Avenue, and my first stop is at Cedar Hills, which appears to be the older of the two cemeteries, but has been recently expanded to feature a new cremation garden and a canine memorial. Just inside the entrance, on a hillside in Section A, we find the grave of Baseball Hall of Famer Napoleon Larry LaJOIE. Larry LaJoie's Major League career spanned 2,480 games over 21 seasons with the Philadelphia Phillies, Philadelphia Athletics, and the Cleveland Indians. During his career, he had a batting average of .338 with 3,242 hits and 1,599 RBIs. He also had 83 home runs. He was a versatile fielder and could play any position in the infield and the outfield. He also served as the player manager for the Cleveland Indians from 1905 to 1909, earning a record of 377 wins, 309 losses. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1937. After retiring from baseball, he made his home here in Daytona Beach, Florida, and was a popular figure during spring training. Larry LaJOIE died on February 7, 1959 from the complications of pneumonia. He was 84 years old. From Cedar Hills, I moved directly across Bellevue Avenue to the Bellevue Cemetery, which is the newer of the two cemeteries that are now part of the combined Daytona Memorial Park Management Company. Both cemeteries are located very near the Daytona International Airport and the Embry-Riddle Flying Academy. And as you can hear, there's planes flying constantly overhead. The first stop is just inside the entrance in Section 8. Look for the large stone Bible on the left, walk down the path to find the final resting place of Glenn Fireball Roberts. Edward Glenn Roberts was one of NASCAR's early pioneers and one of the sport's first superstars. He got the name Fireball as a pitcher on his high school baseball team, and the name stuck throughout his racing career. His popularity soared as he battled the likes of Joe Weatherly, Ned Jarrett, Lee Petty, and Junior Johnson. During his 15-year NASCAR career, he raced in 206 races and won 33 times. His career and life came to a tragic end on May 24, 1964 at the World 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Fireball was involved in a fiery crash on lap 7. Fellow driver Ned Jarrett tried to pull him from his flaming vehicle. Suffering burns over 80% of his body, Fireball was transported to a local hospital where he clung to life for several weeks, but eventually slipped into a coma and died at the age of 35 on July the 2nd, 1964. Just a short walk across the cemetery from Fireball's final resting place, we see several private mausoleums on the banks of a small lake. One of these mausoleums is the final resting place of another NASCAR legend. Just a couple of miles from the Daytona International Speedway, under the Florida palm trees, and on the banks of a quiet lake, we find the final resting place of Bill France Jr., the son of NASCAR founder Big Bill France. Bill Jr. was instrumental in the growth of NASCAR over more than 3 decades. He secured the sport's first title sponsorship for the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, and the NASCAR Winston Cup Series under Bill's leadership became the world's most popular form of motorsports. Under his leadership, he took NASCAR to a national audience with the sport's first network television contract and the sport's first ever flag-to-flag coverage of the 1979 Daytona 500 on CBS. With Bill Jr. leading the way, the sport enjoyed unsurpassed popularity, culminating in the $2.4 billion television contract he signed for the 2001 NASCAR season. In 2000, Bill Jr. was diagnosed with cancer and began to gradually step away from NASCAR's day-to-day operation. He named Mike Helton as NASCAR's president, and in 2003 named his son Brian as the sport's CEO. He remained a member of the NASCAR board of directors even though his health continued to decline. Bill France Jr. died from the complications of cancer on June 4th, 2007. He was 74 years old. This is where I'm going to end this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up below. If you want to keep up with my travels, please subscribe. Until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching.